Feeling terrible about yourself. When you feel terrible about yourself, it's just not a feeling, it's like more than that. It's not just like happiness or anger or other feelings. When you feel terrible about yourself, you might think that you are terrible, and that might be right, except for one thing, because you are better than this, and I know you're better than this, and you're in control, and you've got to take that control. You've got to take control over your life, all your feelings, all your comprehensions about everything. You have to take that control, and you have to steer it in the direction that you really want to steer it into. You have to take the control about your life somehow, and people around you might actually make you feel terrible about yourself because of what they say to you, because of what they do, and it is hard. It has always been hard, and it will always be hard. Except for myself, I just about go to bed every day around 2 or 3 o'clock. And then I wake up around 12 to 13, same day. Which means that I get more than 9 hours of sleep every day. And it's not because I'm depressed, it's more because that I easily could wake up 8 or 9 o'clock. But I function much better doing the night and doing the evening hours, and I have proved that. I proved it on many occasions, and I might be able to prove it again and again and again. Most of my videos, my vlogs, my recordings, my live streams, all my shit that I have made, and when I worked at the venue and worked other places, waking up 12 o'clock every day, it was the problem. I could just wake up 12 o'clock and then I could just wander down to the venue and then say hello, and I was just ready and there, and they were happy and I were happy that they were happy and everybody was happy. But I don't function if I wake up 8 o'clock in the morning and I wander around with my coffee cup. But the problem is that the people around you and the government, the society, everybody expects you to be able to wake up around 7 o'clock and then go to work 8 o'clock. But let me ask you one thing. Why? Why do I have to wake up at the time that you expect me to, when I just as easy could wake up later and be more productive? I'll tell you why. It's because they are not comfortable with you and you having your own schedule and your own sleep cycle. And I'm not comfortable with them making me feeling terrible about myself when I just as easy could have done the same amount of work during the night as they do in the day, and probably I could actually have done better than they did a day during the night, because I am completely on during the night. I am able to work, I'm able to do things. You're good enough. Just because you have a different sleep cycle or is better off working during the night where there isn't that much noise in your apartment, for example, or whatever, it doesn't actually make you special, because let me tell you what, around 50% of all people out there is better off working during the night. And if you're one of those who actually sleeps during the day and is best during the night, congratulations, you're normal. Another thing that they do to make us feel terrible is that they use every trick in the book to make us feel stupid. They tell us everything that we don't want to hear, and trust me, it works. For example, if you have dyslexia, which is a problem with reading and writing, then they go around and say that you're stupid, you will never ever become anything before you have learned to spell correctly or read exactly as quick as they do. But let me tell you one thing, Mr. Smart. Currently, math is actually more important than than most of the languages. Math is what makes us able to record things to YouTube and have a YouTube. My spelling errors and my capability of reading as quick as you do or whatever doesn't make a world. And yeah, I know that it is important that you actually write something that other people would be able to read or whatever, and maybe your handwriting should be better or whatever, but we have technology for that. I can take my cell phone and dictate to it, and the same goes for my computer. I don't have to actually be able to write each and every word correctly, and I have done for this manuscript, for this entire vlog. Every time I had a word that I didn't knew how to spell, I just dictated it in to the computer, and there we go. It wrote it for me. So my capability of spelling and reading isn't actually what makes a good art. And I would say that language educations should actually be more about you being able to use the language, and not you being able to spell the language completely correct and oh, this is how you spell it, and all the grammar notches are... Stop. Using the language correctly is actually more important than you spelling each and every stupid small word correct. So you're not stupid just because you're not able to spell dyslexia, because it is a really hard word to spell. And I remember that people through my entire life have told me that I could not write because I had so many spelling errors. So even though that my stories were good, my spelling was terrible, and they told me that then my stories were terrible because I had so many spelling errors. I even remember that people directly came to me and said I couldn't write anything anywhere because I had small errors in my spelling, and they have been less and less. But I was actually teased about it first, and then they started to mock me about it, and they in the end they completely became feared of my spelling errors. This was like when I'm trying to make a role play, then I write something down or whatever, but because of my spelling errors, they're actually terrified about actually participating in my role play, because in their world my writing is terrible, my stories is terrible, because my spelling is not completely perfect. And that's just rude. And please don't be rude. I don't get it, and I guess that I never will. So if you feel terrible about yourself, maybe it's not you that's wrong, maybe it's them. Sincerely, Lolpi.